Hi everyone, this is Preet from Doodling Art Preet and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic. This is one of the most requested videos and I had a poll on Instagram and everyone voted for this. So here we go. So these are the gems that I've created using the colored pencils. And here again, these are in purple. And again, these are multicolored in red, green and blue. So a number of people requested for a video tutorial for these gems, but I thought that instead of using a blender, which to be honest I never prefer, it's a very expensive tool to go for, and unless you are into sketching and portrait making, I'm sure we don't usually keep a blender handy. There is something which we do keep handy. Let's move this away first. Here, Vaseline Petroleum Jelly. This is something which I am pretty sure is there in each and everybody's home. Your mothers make sure of that. So we are going to use Vaseline as a blender instead of actually buying a blender worth so many bucks. Here I have Prismacolors. These are actually water-soluble colored pencils, but for this particular tutorial you do not need a colored pencil which is water-soluble. You can go for anything which is there in handy with you. You can go for the camlin ones, faber castel. You can go for Fevicryl. Anything which is in your budget works for this particular tutorial. You don't have to go for anything expensive. I have done a number of works using mont and camlin pencils earlier. Mont again is a little expensive compared to the camlin ones, but still in an affordable range. Or there are other options if you're going for something very expensive because you usually use these watercolor pencils. Then I would suggest to go for Cretacolor or Prismacolor. Okay, here I have a Bristol sheet. This is from Bristol. I've created a circle over here which we'll be using for the creation of a gem. I'll be zooming in on my camera now just so that you are able to see what I'm really creating. I've zoomed in the camera quite a lot bit so that you can see the paper clearly. We'll be working with 4 colors today actually. This is spring green, grass green, dark green, so, and this is black. We'll talk about black a little later, but let's talk about these 3. We'll start with a lighter shade which is your spring green and has a yellowish green touch. Then we'll create a darker layer which will be a middle layer using the green grass green. This will not be too dark but somewhere in the middle. The final one is the dark green. You need to understand very clearly that when we get the reflections on a gem, there will be some areas which will reflect a lot more because the light is direct on them, and some areas will not reflect as much, and that is what we're going to create using this. The black will be used to actually create the darker surroundings. We will also be using another tool, that's this. White gel pen or a jelly roll pen, whatever you have, you can use this to create a final reflection, the white reflection. I can show you that. See, I've created a final white reflection using the white gel. The black has been used for the surroundings, and this is how the shades are going. Let's get started. Okay. I always leave some space in here just to create a lighter zone. You don't have to keep this much of space, you can keep less space, whatever works for you. If you have never played around with gems before, try doing it once. If you have any, artificial gems lying around at your home or in your jewelry or something, try playing with the light with them so that you can actually understand how the lighting works with these gems. And if you're still not able to understand that through directly, or you don't have the gems lying around at home, follow this particular trick always, and this always works. You can just change the direction here and there, but this is how finally it's going to. Now you can clearly see that there is a clear differential marking between these two colors. You can clearly see that there are two different colors. They're not very well blended at all, but that's what we are supposed to do with the Vaseline. But I want to color it up a bit so that you can see how Vaseline works in the end. Okay. You don't have to apply too much of pressure on your pencil, and you can just give a lighter stroke right now because you're just creating a layer for your own understanding and nothing else. Okay, let's get started with the Vaseline. You can directly dip your pencil into the Vaseline. You can pick the Vaseline with a finger, however it works for you. I usually like to pick it using the pencil itself and apply it to the layer, and apply a little bit more pressure on your pencil compared to the last time. There we go. Once you feel that you have clearly blended the area of that color, start blending into the next layer. Start blending into the next layer. That's how you will get the desired effect in the end actually. Now you might be worried that these pencils might get destroyed because they are a little expensive and they might get destroyed by the Vaseline, but trust me, they don't. They work great. I've used these pencils a number of times to create these and they still work great. Okay, so this is what we did with the first layer. Let's move on to the second layer. Again, dip your pencil, put that Vaseline down and start creating that blended effect. See, here I'm going into this layer as well and the layer above as well. I'm trying to get a sense of the shades that I really want. Don't worry about these sides, they'll be covered by the black in the end, so these issues won't be visible in the end. Just don't go too much out of your circle. Stay within the circle as much as possible. Again, we are picking up. I picked very less Vaseline this time because there's a lot of Vaseline going on the paper already. So I know I won't need too much of it. See, again I'm going into the second layer because I want to show that this is clearly blended and there are no clear markings of separate layers. So that's what I did right here. We still see a little difference in these two layers, so I'm gonna pick it up and blend a little more. You don't have to worry about your page getting ripped off or anything or getting destroyed. That never happens. But if you're using a way too thin paper, then I cannot guarantee. But if you're using a cardstock or a Bristol sheet, it's going to stay intact. And please don't try this on watercolor paper, especially cold pressed, because the effect won't be visible at all. Okay, so I have actually blended it, but now what I'm going to do is use a tissue, just to ensure that there is no extra Vaseline on the paper lying around. Okay. I'd like this to go away a bit. Okay, much better. And now let's pick up the black and create a darker boundary. Okay, so we have created a blacker outing, and I'm gonna pick up my dark green and just try to blend the black with the dark green a bit. This will give it a shadow effect actually. Oh. Okay. Now that we have created this gem, all we need to add is a tint of this white. And there we go. We have our final gem with us. I hope you liked the video tutorial. This was quite a simple tutorial, and it's not using any expensive products, but rather something which we have at our homes all the time. So I do hope that you guys try this out, and if you do try, I would suggest to go ahead and post it on Instagram. You can tag me on Doodling Art Preet. I have the link for my Instagram in the caption. Do subscribe to my channel if you like the videos, and I hope you like the future content as well. Bye bye.